Wow, I want to welcome you to today's presentation on our Grasscutter business training series. We shall be looking into another important issues concerning successful Grasscutter business setup. We have been talking about setup in the last 3 series, and we are still on that setup now. Okay, we are looking at factors to be considered when constructing your grasscutter pen or cage. That is, what you must put in place, or what you must guide against, or what you must be considered when you are constructing your grasscutter pen or cage. It could be concrete cage, it could be iron cage, and it could be wooden cage. Whichever type of cage you are trying to construct for your grasscutter, you have to take into consideration the following factor that will be mentioned in this training. Before we go too far, my name is Oludele Atunishe, the manager and the farm manager and the coordinator at Farmsense Grasscutter Base, Ibadan, Nigeria. Okay, I want to introduce myself and the topic of today's training series, which is factors to be considered when constructing your grasscutter pen or cage. Then let's dive into the business. I will make it as short as possible. Okay, we are looking at the factor to be considered when you are constructing your grasscutter cage or pen. Okay, what are these factors to be considered? The factor to be considered are: number one, your cage must have access to enough grasses. Okay, we cannot overemphasize this, because your grasses is the basic reason, the basic food that you will need to feed your animal with. So your grasscutter cage or pen must be located in a place that have access to enough grasses. Okay, I know I cannot explain this more. We cannot overemphasize on this one. That is, wherever your grasscutter must be, it must be closer or nearer to where you can access a grasscutter. For example, now you don't need to travel a distance of 1 hour, 2 hours to get the grasses. No, at least you may just go as well, maybe 10-15 minutes trek or drive to get your grasses for your animal. It depends on, number one, the kind of grasses you are looking for, because there are some grasses that has to do with particular location. For example, now if you are looking for water grass, so water grass can be found always around the marshy areas, in riverine area. So if you have to look for that, that means that you have to go to a place, a river rine area, or you are looking for bamboo leaf or bamboo leaf to give your grasscutter. It's not something you can commonly found within the community. You have to go a distance journey to get that, and there are some others like that, but it shouldn't be a distance of 1 hour, 2 hours. No, it should be a distance of 10, 15, 5, or even let's say 30 minutes. Is still that can still be considered. It depends on the kind of grasses you are trying to get. So there are a lot of variety of grasses that you can feed your animal with. There are some of them, they are very available around your location, and there are some that you have to go distance to get it. So I want to talk about this. The next thing is that the pen or your cage must be in a calm environment. Yes, your cage and your pen, your cage must be located in a calm environment, because grasscutter, they like a cool and quiet environment. They are animals that always like environment to hide themselves. So when the environment is too noisy, open to noise 24/7, or where there's a lot of human intrusion into their privacy, or where people always intrude, go again and again. You know what I'm trying to say, that a place where you put your cage shouldn't be a place that people frequent to disturb their privacy. So they are animals that like calmness and privacy. So it should be located whereby people don't just have access to it, and it should be a calm environment, quiet environment, serene environment. Even as a human being, we like environment that is quiet, that is not noisy. So the same thing for your animal, because it will have effect on their development and also on their production at the long run. So your pen or your cage must be in a calm environment, very quiet, serene, and noiseless environment. So this cannot be undermined. And what again? The cage must be protected from snake, soldier ant, and other predators. Yes. So your animal cannot protect themselves. For example, now your cage must be protected from snake. At least you must make sure that you do everything to guard against snake coming into your pen or into your cage. For example, now you can plant some grasses, that is snake repellent. You can plant it around your cage location or your pen location. So you can do that, or you can just do everything that will scare away snake around your farm. Make sure that you do a research, or you find out what you can do. You don't need to wait until you see appearance of cage snake around your farm or pen or your grass cutter cage or pen before you guide against it. You just have to guide against it by all means. Whatsoever loopholes that will not give room, that may give room for snake to penetrate your farm, you must guide against it. Your environment must be neat. In fact, it must be neat, because among other things that attract soldier ants to a farm is if the farm is not neat, is dirty. Probably you throw away leftover food, either human food or your animal waste. You have to throw it away, from where it will attract unwanted predators like snake, like soldier ants. For example, now can't afford to be throwing waste leftover food, especially like amala, something like rice, leftover food that are oily or fatty and the like. You can't avoid to put it or dispose it around your grass cutter farm. It will attract soldier ants. Yes, so your cage must be protected from snake, from soldier ants, and other predators. There are many other predators you can think about, or you are not considering. You don't want it around your farm. Then protect your farm, your animal. Protect your cage from the penetration of all these snake, soldier ants, and other predators. So having done that, then the next thing is that consider the cold while building the cage or pen, because too much cold can kill or lead to pneumonia for your animal. Yes, in fact, this is number one problem of grass cutter. They don't like cold. In fact, that is one major health challenge of a grass cutter. That's major. Apart from that one, probably warm, which is you can deworm them, but cold can lead to their quick death or pneumonia. And then when they have pneumonia, it will affect their growth, it will affect their production, it will affect their activity. So you have to reconstruct your cage in a way that it will guide against too much cold, as in exposing your animal or your grass cutter to too much cold. In fact, as a matter of fact, when you put your cage, you get a extra banner to cover them, especially at the night, so that it will only give room for a little penetration of a breeze into their cage. Is that okay? During the dry season, you can leave the cage open for good ventilation. As much as your grass cutter need good ventilation, so also you must guide against too much cold for them. During the harmattan, during the rainy season, you have to do something to guide against exposing your grass cutter to cold. Is that okay? So get a banner or tarpaulin to cover your cage during the cold season, either during rainy season or during the harmattan season, or when the weather that is not favorable in terms of cold. Any weather that's not favorable to human being is not favorable to your grass cutter. That's just it. So consider when you are creating your cage, do it in a way that it will guide against access of too much cold to them. So build it in a way that it will guide, it will not expose them to too much cold, either during the rainy season or during the harmattan season. So this is what you have to consider when you are constructing your grass cutter cage. And again, avoid sharp objects in the cage. Yes, especially if you are using you're using iron cage or wooden cage. You know, wooden cage, when you are doing this, there may be some nail when you are constructing it. There are some nail that may the sharp nail that may open up, and that it may affect you, it may open up in the course of construction. Make sure that you blunt it or you bend it in a way that it will, when your animals they are playing around, they will not mistakenly injure themselves with that nail. Is that okay? So avoid sharp objects in the cage, such as nail, such as blade, such as metal objects around the cage that needs to be blunt or bent or discarded, or just push it away from their environment. Because when you avoid this one, because your animal, they usually run like a blind animal, as you can see, and they can hit their head anywhere. You can hit their head anywhere from the cage. So your animal can, in fact, sometimes when you want to pick them, when they are trying to avoid you, they can just hit their head if you have not observant that there is an exposure in the cage, especially sharp nail, sharp object or whatever. So anything sharp object around your cage, you have to find a way of at least guide against it, blunt it, bend it, hide it from exposure to your animal, so that when they are playing around innocently, they will not innocently injure themselves, and then there are some injury that may lead to death. Yes, there are some injury that may lead to their death, especially it depends on the part of their body that the sharp object hit. So avoid sharp objects in the cage, because they usually run anyhow. They play around, and then running is part of their characteristic. In fact, running around, jumping around in the cage is good characteristic of a healthy, varied, and active grass cutter. Do you get it now? So, and if they want to display that they are active, they are healthy, they are varied, and in the cage or wherever sharp object in your cage, either metal or wooden, and even the concrete one. So try as much as possible to avoid such. What again? The cage of pen must be rodent or escape proof. Yes, so you must do your cage in a way that it will prevent your animal from escape. Like I told you, if you are using iron mesh or a wooden cage, you have to create. You have to, by all means, make sure that the hole of your iron mesh or net you are using is not too big to allow them to escape. And not only that, when you are using wooden, you must make sure that your wood, every part of the wooden part of your cage must be protected with some kind of metal or aluminum, so that your animal will not hit up the wooden part of the cage and escape, because grass cutter do hit wood. So if you are using wooden cage, then make sure that you do the needful, protecting the wooden part or the wooden edge of your cage from your animal hitting them and escape. So your pen or your cage must be rodent or escape proof. What again? Divide the cage into two. That is, when you have a cage of let's say 1 deck or 2 deck or 3 deck or whatever deck you have, it is advisable that you divide your cage into two. So because when you divide into two, as in you demarcate it into two. So when you demarcate it into two, after the demarcation, the wall you use to demarcate it, you can create a hole or door that they can use to pass out, to move from one demarcation, from one part of the demarcation to the another one. You see, your grass cutter, they are like human beings, that they believe that when you are hitting, you hit in the sitting room or in the dining room, and when you want to sleep, you go to your bedroom. So demarcating their deck is like, okay, you have created a place where they will hit their food, and you have created a place where they will always sleep. Do you get it now? So demarcating it give room for them, number one, to have a good movement, and also to have a privacy, and also to create a place they can sleep and have a personal privacy, so that they, naturally they will create it by themselves. So they will use a particular place for feeding and heating, and a particular place to sleep. In fact, that is just it. You just demarcate it. It is left for them to decide where they will sleep and where they will eat their food. In fact, as a matter of fact, you can do that. Just put their food in a particular place where they will be eating their food, and the other side they will walk up there either to relax, to sleep, to do any other thing on their own. So it is advisable to demarcate your cage into two, and when you demarcate into two, create a entrance or link door, let me put it that way, that link one part of the demarcation to another one, so that they can move freely from one part of demarcation to another one as they are running about or moving about through the hole or the door also. So like I said, you can use one part of the demarcation for feeding them while they sleep in the other side. So that is what you have to consider when you are constructing your grass cutter. So this will inform the size of your grass cutter cage, the width, and then the height, and many other, and the doors, the way you position the doors, and then every other thing, so that when you look at this, then you are good to go to rear your grass cutter to give you good result, and so to enjoy the best of them. Okay, so that shall be the concluding part of today's presentation. Okay, once again, let me do a rundown of what the factor you have to consider. You must have access to enough grasses. The pen must be in a calm environment. The cage must be protected from snakes, soldier ants, and other predators. And so consider the cold while building the cage or pen, because too much cold can kill or lead to pneumonia of your animal. Also, avoid sharp objects in the cage. They usually run like a blind animal. Don't mind the adjective, and they can hit their head anywhere from the cage. Okay, and your cage must be rodent or escape proof, that you must create in a way that there is no room for them to escape when you are away from your from them. Also divide your cage into two, that's it, demarcate it into two, and create a hole or door, which by there will be a passage between one room and the other, so that they can feed from one and sleep in the other one, or relax in the other one. So that's all I have for us today, and you can contact us at Farmsense Grasscutter Base for any of the following services. Number one, training, that is one-on-one training or training manual in form of ebook, video, and audio training. And also grass cutter, if you need a grass cutter breed stock, either weaners, adult, or table size, you can always contact us. Also, you need a breed stock of winner or adult or table size. Winners are 2 to 4 months old, adult are 5 to 7 months old, and the table size are the one that probably you want to use for consumption. Maybe you want to do pepper soup, or you have an infant and you are looking for table size that you want to use. Okay, and also grass cutter cage, either wooden or iron cage. So you can always contact us for this. And also grass cutter feeder and drinker, you can always contact us for this also. And not only that, farm setup consultancy, if you have money and then you are looking at, okay, maybe you should come and look at your site and check where to consult for you, what your budget, your location, and your plan, then we can do that for you at a moderate fix. Okay, and not only that, and any other grass cutter related service, such as group training. Maybe you want us to come and do a seminar for your group member, church member, just or club member, on how to make money from grass cutter farmer business. So these are the things that you can contact us for. And if you want to contact us, you can simply come to my WhatsApp DM using the number below. You can dial 0 +2 3481 8800 8252. That is for WhatsApp. But if you want to call for voice call, then you can always call me on 081 66 41 6200. Once again, it has been the voice of Oludela Tunishi standing up, presenting to this training to you, speaking on behalf of Farmsense Grasscutter Base, Ibadan, Nigeria. See you in the next training series coming up, either through our the Telegram platform, through our WhatsApp status, and also through our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being there. Once again, make sure if you are watching this video on your YouTube, make sure that you like, you comment, you share, and you subscribe to our channel so that you can be updated every time we have a new update, we upload a new video to the channel, so that you will not miss out anytime there's a new video uploaded on the channel. Thanks once again. God bless you. Have a wonderful time and the best time breeding grass cutter profitably. God bless you. See you later.